Hello everyone. I'm evidently having some trouble with my earpiece. You know what the trouble is? It's unplugged. That will explain it. I was busy trying to troubleshoot as to what was going on, and you've come at a good time. Ferg's making it tricky for you. Here we go. Look at this. Now, I am guessing that this is young Hosanna. I am just guessing because we've just got into this area. We actually had driven straight past him as he was snoozing up in this marula tree. But thankfully on our way back through the area, we got alerted to his presence, mainly because another safari vehicle had spotted him. So we can't claim the credit for this, but certainly very, very happy to be in this situation with you guys. And he is a beautiful, beautiful looking individual. And what I'm hoping is that he's going to continue to play around in this tree, whether he decides to jump up higher or whether he decides to descend. The way he's panting, I'm guessing he may have been chasing something up in that tree. Maybe it was a squirrel he was after. He is still a youngster, so he will still be a little bit more playful when it comes to possible prey that he'll seek out. Hello, boy. What are your plans? And why, I'd really love to know why he's panting so much. I could only guess that he had a go at something else. I mean, it is fairly warm, so that could be the reason as well. I don't know exactly where he was when you were looking at him with Ralph a little bit earlier, but I'm guessing it wasn't too far from here. I don't know this area well, so I'm not exactly certain. Oh, I've just made a cardinal error, and I've been calling her a him. So, I'm sure a lot of you have already noticed that it wasn't him. So, feel free to let me know who this leopard is, as and when you work it out. Now, what I'm guessing is that she may actually have a kill nearby. Who could she be? I definitely didn't see any testicles underneath that tail. Hey? Unless I'm getting myself double confused, Jen, it is in fact him, and I didn't see some telltale parts of his anatomy that would confirm that he is in fact a male. Thank you to James. I'm guessing it could be James Hendry, but who knows, not certain at this stage. And you say that it looks like it could be Kuchava. So, thank you, James. It's not James Hendry. Hi, guys. Thank you for spotting that. Just saying hello and thank you to the touristas who are heading off with their guide. They've obviously had a very productive afternoon with some more good prospects because they didn't spend too long with this lady. What an absolute treat. I love seeing leopards up tree. Now, a reason why she could be full-bellied is she may already have a kill somewhere nearby, possibly dangling on one of the branches of these trees. She doesn't look hugely full-bellied, but leopards do have the joy of being able to more casually snack on their kills over a period of 3 or 4 days if there's enough meat. So they don't need to gorge themselves quite as much as lions need to. Hi Mike, you'd like to know if this leopard is doing any hunting at the moment. It doesn't appear like at the moment she's actively hunting. Having said that though, she's got a very good vantage point from up there, so she could be scanning for her next possible meal. And I do have a feeling that she was quite active before she got up into this tree, because she still seems to be panting quite heavily. Again, it could just be that she's hot, because it is a fairly warm afternoon, but I'm not convinced. I've been, I guess, a little bit out of the loop with leopards and their ongoings in the Sabi Sands over the last year and a half, so maybe it's just me who's not too certain about this lady and what exactly her status is. But what must be said is that even though she's not actively moving now, she could well do some hunting from this tree at any given point. Hello, Andrew.
How are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Good,
You too. We'll catch up soon.
Beautiful.
Hi, guys. Sorry, everyone. I just had to say hello to Andrew Koza, the man with the biggest smile in the Sabi Sands. He's a wonderful guy that a lot of you would have seen or got to know in your time here, if you have been lucky enough to come out on safari to this area. And it was great to see him briefly now. I think we can reposition a little bit and get you a slightly different angle. How cool! We thought we had one leopard, but it was another. While I started saying it was him, I thought, oh, this is a slippery slope. I don't have any idea where Hosanna had been seen earlier on, and for good reason. I got it completely wrong in the end. Hello, Tanith. You'd like to know what animal runs the biggest risk of overheating? Well, out of the big cats, I'd say it's likely that any one of them could overheat with equal chances. So I don't think there's a massive difference between lion, leopard, or cheetah. And it would require there to be very, very strange scenarios for them to actually overheat. Ordinarily, they'll just relax in the hotter parts of the day. And it's more that they need to catch their breath when they take breaks, as opposed to actually physically overheating. It's the same as us. Our body prevents us from getting into a state where we can overheat, because we run out of air and oxygen and energy before we get to that stage most of the time. There's some beautiful golden light bathing down on her now. How cool is this? What have you spotted out there? Anything of interest? I'm still quite puzzled as to why she's panting so much, and I'm going to put it down to the fact that I haven't spent a lot of time with leopards over the last year and a half, and therefore I've got a little bit rusty. So I'm not entirely sure that it's her belly that could be full, putting a bit of extra pressure on her diaphragm. I've got a feeling that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. She's been here relaxing for long enough to have caught her breath had she had been out of breath from hunting. A short chase after something. So it leads me to believe she could well have just had a good snack, or possibly be midway through one. But for now, very good prospects with her up in the tree, because at some point she's going to have to come down, and hopefully we'll still be here when she decides to do that. Thank you very, very much, Ellen, for your assistance. And Ellen has just kindly provided me with some information on Kuchava, and she is a 3-year-old female who was born to Tandi, a female leopard who currently, hopefully, has some tiny little fur balls that she's going to reveal to us in the coming weeks. So thank you so much, Ellen. And for any of you who are new to the Safari Live experience, it's very important that you know that it is quite easy to be able to distinguish between the different leopards that we see, and there's quite a lot of information and history on most of the leopards that do get seen in our area of work here in the Sabi Sands. So often we rely on you guys, the viewers, to help not only identify the cheetah, the leopards, but also provide us with some interesting stories about them, stories that you may have heard or seen on social media. But I think it is probably the first time I've seen this individual. Hello, young Tim, who's just 3 years old. You would like to know what is the lifespan of a leopard, and it really does depend, because just like us as humans, we all live for different lengths of time. So it could be that a leopard's unlucky and lives for a short time, maybe only a few months, or if it's lucky, it'll live to about 15 to 20 years of age if they're very, very lucky. So they don't live for nearly as long as we do as humans. And unluckily for the leopard, they've got a lot more threats like lions and hyenas that can catch and kill baby leopards. So our upbringing is usually a little bit safer, and our chance of making it to old age is also a little bit safer than it is for the leopard. So they've got lots of obstacles, but usually around 15 years would be a good life for a leopard. Let's take another look. She seems to be scanning around again. Interesting theory that's just come through from Stacy. Thank you for planting the seed into my head and now everyone's. Could it be that she's possibly pregnant, and it's the pressure of those little baby fur balls pushing up against her diaphragm, not a kill that she's been feeding on? It is possible. Leopards will start giving birth from this age, and wouldn't that be fascinating if it is in fact that she's uncomfortably pregnant? It would be wonderful if not only her but also her mother have a litter of cubs at the same time. So yes, that certainly is possible. Let's take a closer look now. You can see she's not comfortable there, which is hopefully going to mean she's going to either reposition onto a slightly different section of this tree, or she may well just come down the tree entirely, both of which will be good options for us. We'll take either at this stage. She definitely tends to be looking in that direction far more than any other direction. So I'm wondering if there isn't something across there, some possible prey. Hard to be certain, but I think it's fair to say that we can assume there's something happening over there, because there are simply something that's causing her to keep staring across. And I mean, we could get incredibly lucky. It's something that I've never seen and may well never see in my entire career as a guide, but some people have been lucky enough to witness leopards leaping out of trees down onto their prey. Of course, it requires a lot of variables to come together. The leopard, A, to be up a tree, and B, their prey to walk directly beneath her or him. But one day one of us will get lucky, and I'm looking forward to that day, whoever it may be who is in the right place at the right time. I've seen one clip, I'm not sure where exactly it was filmed in Africa, but the leopard must have jumped out of a tree. It must have been about 8 or 9 meters up in this tree, which is incredibly high. This individual's probably 4 meters, I would say, at the moment off the ground, whereas the other leopard that I'm talking about came down from about twice as high as this individual. which gives you a good idea of how high they're willing to throw themselves from a tree down onto their prey. Hard to believe, actually. Surely you're going to move, Kuchava, rather than lying there uncomfortably for much longer. Good prospects. A yawn is always a good sign that they may move. Hello, Jack. You would like to know how many calories will a leopard require daily in order to live a healthy life? And I'm not sure on the exact numbers, but on average, once a leopard has had a good meal, which would be about 7 kilograms of meat, it can survive quite comfortably for 3 days. So it's difficult to break up their dietary requirements like ours, because it's not as easy for them to acquire their food as regularly as we do, which means very often they will cash in on a kill and then go for 3 or 4 days without feeding, which means obviously for 3 or 4 days there's absolutely nothing passing through their digestive tract, but yet they still survive. So I guess it's one that needs to be broken down and extrapolated over a longer period, like a 3 or 4 day period, which is generally how often they will make a kill and feed if the going is good. Wonderful. Well, we're going to sit tight here and get you guys, hopefully, some visuals of her coming down this tree as and when she decides to. But for now, we're going to send you across to Ralph for an update on how the lions are getting along. Well, good timing. She literally just sat up. She's been snoozing with her head down. She's been looking less and less alert ever since you left us, until the moment you rejoined. So I think she's excited by the fact that all of you guys are now spying on her. Now, a possible theory is that she may have been chased by something, and that's why she keeps looking back in that direction. And who knows, maybe young Hosanna chased her. He'll be of a very similar size to her, I'm guessing. An 18, 19-month-old male will be quite similar in size, possibly actually a little bit bigger than a 3-year-old female. So she would give way to him, even though he's half her age. Again, this is all just speculation, which I should probably stop doing so much of. It could have been a lion she ran away from, or who knows. But there is certainly something that seems to be catching her attention off to the west. Hello, Gus. You'd like to know, how do leopards manage to sleep up trees without falling out of them? I guess we should be asking the same questions to all our monkey friends, because they're also good at doing that. I'm not too sure. I mean, I guess us as humans sleep far more deeply than most wild animals do, for obvious reasons. We in theory shouldn't have many threats at night, and therefore sleep with not too many worries in the world. Whereas for most wild animals, even the biggest and dangerous, the Birmingham Male Coalition, they will never sleep as deeply as we do. They'll always be kind of semi-alert. Their hearing will always be tuned in. And yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I can understand a leopard sleeping up in a tree and balancing there with more ease than a monkey or a baboon or something more similarly structured to us. Yet they all manage to. So I guess it's going to be an applicable skill not only to leopards who sleep up trees, but a whole bunch of other animals. I guess birds even on a similar page, because they could also keel over at any point. Anyway, I don't think we're going to see her falling out of this tree. Hopefully we will see her coming down, but it's going to have to be quickly, because there is only a short time left on this sunset safari. It's been great fun having you with us, and it's been great fun for myself being back in the Sabi Sands, that is for certain, and always good to be teamed up with Ferg on camera. So we've had a great afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed your afternoon, not only here but also with the crew up in the Mara. We've got a lot to look forward to tomorrow on the Sunrise Safari, so make sure you don't miss out.